This presentation, provided by the University of Wisconsin-Madison Division of Extension and the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, discusses basic biosecurity practices for livestock operations. We help keep our livestock healthy by protecting them from disease-causing microorganisms, primarily the bacteria, viruses, fungi, and prions that can make our livestock sick. Examples you may be familiar with include E. coli or Salmonella bacteria, IBR or BVD viruses, fungi that cause ringworm, and prions that cause mad cow, chronic wasting disease, or scrapie. There are daily biosecurity steps you can take to reduce the risk of introducing and spreading diseases commonly found in our neighborhood, state, or region. Managing for the common threats positions us to handle the uncommon ones, like foreign animal diseases. No one is more vested in the success of your farm than you. Yours and your neighbor's farm biosecurity depends on you. Government regulation is not the first line of biosecurity defense. Rather, successful biosecurity occurs through the daily management steps you complete.
No two farms are alike, so it is important to assess the biosecurity threats to your operation. Once the risks are identified, they can be managed by a four-step approach by excluding disease entry onto your farm, separating the potential for disease spread around the farm, cleaning by removing dirt, manure from pens and equipment, and disinfecting surfaces to reduce or eliminate infectious disease pathogens. The disease-causing organisms are many, and it is impossible to control them all, but we can take steps to broadly manage as many as we can. Check out Iowa State's Center for Food Security and Public Health, which has many great biosecurity resources for animal disease prevention, preparedness, and response, including templates to help you assess the biosecurity risks to your farm. Items, supplies, people, animals moving on and off your farm can bring and spread disease. Identifying movement risks can help you prevent diseases. This checklist, available at the Center for Food Security and Public Health, is an excellent tool to help you identify your farm's movement risks. Farms with multiple enterprises will have more movement onto and from them as compared to a single enterprise using fewer suppliers.
The 4 buckets to manage your risks will be sized and shaped differently from another farm because your movement risks are different. Perhaps your farm routinely purchases new animals. You will need to set up disease exclusion steps, like only purchasing from reputable sellers who provide test-negative animals for the diseases you want to prevent on your farm. Or you will test and separate these animals on your farm and not commingle them until test results are known. Perhaps you show animals locally and statewide. You will participate only in shows that require test-negative animals. In both examples, you would also vaccinate your herd to protect them from the common diseases that incoming animals may have, or your animals will be exposed to at shows. This process of excluding entrants onto your farm is also known as maintaining a line of separation. We draw a line to separate and exclude the crossover of microorganisms. You can draw the exterior boundary, the exterior line of separation, on an aerial map of your farm, noting all the entrance and exit points. Then draw the interior lines of separation, directing people and tire traffic to and around your animals.
Signs should clearly designate all entrances and list the expectations you have. Use signs to designate parking areas and set up boot wash stations or provide boot coverings for visitors to wear.
Microorganisms will hitch a ride on tires. We can exclude entry on the farm by controlling what drives onto a farm. During a foreign animal disease outbreak, your farm will likely be required to set up tire washing and disinfecting stations at all entrances and exits. Such tire washing stations may also be used for daily biosecurity. We can also decrease the potential for disease spread on tires by separating where traffic is allowed on the farm. Limiting travel to designated lanes should be used daily. Do not allow tires from another area to drive over feed lanes or animal areas. Do not deliver feed with the same equipment used to scrape manure. Have all visitors and service personnel sign in every time they are on your farm. The date of their visit and their contact information is very important for traceability after a disease occurs. Visitor log templates are available at the Center for Food Security and Public Health. Secure Beef, Secure Milk, Secure Sheep and Wool, and Secure Pork Supply websites also have visitor log templates and other biosecurity resources that are free to use. Your herd health practices exclude disease-causing organisms from making your animals sick. Health is managed by providing proper nutrition, feeding balanced rations for the animal's age and production, and providing clean and properly sized feeding and resting spaces. All housing needs to be properly ventilated. Work with your nutritionist, veterinarian, and other advisors to plan your herd's health. Vaccinating and deworming animals helps build their immunity. Inspect your animals daily to quickly identify and treat sick animals. Better treatment success is achieved when a disease is caught during its early stages. Maintain your veterinary client-patient relationship, or VCPR, and use that relationship to plan successful disease prevention and treatment protocols.
Separation means to separate humans and animals coming onto the farm and maintaining separation between different animal groups. Separate by isolating new animals arriving on a farm, such as newly purchased or those returning from shows. Talk with your veterinarian about how long the separation period should be. Generally, at a minimum, it's 2 weeks. The goal is to separate by a distance so there is no nose-to-nose contact. Do not share water, feed areas, or fence line. Feed and handle those new animals after the home herd by using designated equipment. Change soiled clothing, clean your footwear, and wash your hands before entering and leaving isolation areas and between groups of animals. All visitors to the farm must wear clean clothing and clean and disinfected footwear. We can decrease the potential for disease spread by maintaining lines of separation inside the farm, between the age and health status of the animals on the farm, and being careful not to track manure, bedding, or dirt between groups. Wear designated footwear and clothing and use separate feeding and cleaning equipment. Don't shovel feed with the fork or shovel that was used to muck pens, and don't use the same skid steer bucket to deliver feed that was used to scoop manure out of pens.
All visitors must clean and disinfect their footwear when entering the farm. Everyone, including family and employees, should wash their boots between different groups of animals, paying strict attention to the soles. It is a good biosecurity practice to wear gloves, changing them as needed and between groups of animals. To prevent disease spread around the farm, handle the youngest, most vulnerable animals with the cleanest equipment first before handling other animals. Handle sick animals last. Wash boots between different groups of animals, change gloves as needed, and between groups of animals.
The cleaning process can be broken down into 4 basic steps: dry cleaning, washing, rinsing, and drying. Cleaning is one of the most important biosecurity steps you can take. When done appropriately, cleaning alone removes a large percentage of microorganisms. Surfaces must be cleaned first because disinfectants are useless in the presence of organic matter, such as dirt, dust, and manure. Cleaning involves the removal of visible organic and inorganic matter, such as soil, dirt, debris, salt, oils, and blood from objects or surfaces. The cleaning process should be conducted prior to the application of all EPA-registered disinfectants. First, remove all visible debris. Wash, scrub with soap, detergent, and water. The physical action of scrubbing with soap helps to further reduce the number of microorganisms as well as remove any oil or grease that may inhibit disinfection. All electrical equipment should be turned off and removed or covered tightly prior to washing. Avoid power washing to prevent aerosolization of particles and germs, or wear protective eyewear and face masks or a face shield when using a pressure washer. Pay close attention to cleaning deep cracks, crevices, and pitted surfaces, as these areas hold pathogens. After washing, rinse the item or area with clean water to remove residue. Soaps or detergents can inactivate some disinfectants. Surfaces must be allowed to dry because excess moisture, especially on porous surfaces, may dilute and reduce the effectiveness of the disinfectant. Fans or blowers can be helpful to the drying process, but should not be used if dealing with highly infectious or zoonotic pathogens.
Organic matter will inactivate disinfectants and must be removed before disinfectants are applied. Chlorine-based products such as bleach or chlorine dioxide are especially sensitive to this problem. Hard water can inactivate the active ingredient. A fresh solution of disinfectants should be prepared and used as the label directs and changed when it becomes visibly dirty. Consider the major risks you are concerned about, the surface type you wish to disinfect, and the conditions under which the disinfectant will be used, and then select a disinfectant that best suits those needs. Cleaning and disinfection resources are available at the Center for Food Security and Public Health. Everything you need to know for using the disinfectant is found on the label. Read and follow the label directions. And remember, different classes of disinfectants should not be mixed together. Contact time is necessary to kill germs and varies with different germs and products. It can vary from 1 hour to 1 minute. A quick splash in a foot bath is only going to give a false sense of security. Follow label directions regarding if the product has a wet contact time, meaning the surface needs to be wet the entire time, or if the product can be applied and then allowed to dry during the contact time. Some products need to be rinsed off, others do not. Disinfectants should not be applied directly to an animal or in areas with animals present, unless it is labeled for such use. Read the label for warnings about using the disinfectant around animals, feeders, and in animal areas. If the label indicates rinse the disinfectant off after the appropriate amount of contact time. Some products do not require rinsing and are safe for use around animals. Undesirable chemical reactions may occur when mixing different classes of disinfectants. In summary, apply the disinfectant to the surface as the label directs. Allow it to work for its designated contact time. Rinse if the label says to do so. And finally, allow the surface to dry.
While cleaning and disinfecting, be sure to wash your hands and other exposed skin to remove potentially harmful chemicals. Wear proper personal protective equipment, especially in the presence of a known infectious agent and/or harsh chemical.
Cleaners and disinfectants are chemicals and most have some level of hazard. This can range from irritation of the skin, eyes, or respiratory system to chemical burns. Read the product label for any hazards and wear recommended protection. Workers, including youth, must be trained on safe use of these products. Be aware of any physical hazards, such as slips, trips, or falls, when surfaces become slippery while doing cleaning and disinfecting. Avoid any runoff of product into the environment, such as waterways or wetlands, or animal areas. Many chemical disinfectants are toxic to fish and other aquatic species. Some are toxic to animals even after dilution. Follow label instructions for disposal of disinfectants.
Remember to use the 4 buckets for managing biosecurity on your livestock operation. Exclude, separate, clean, and disinfect.